Hello everyone, I'm Mercy Ajayi and today I'll be comparing the nuclear waste disposal of Canada and of France. Talking about the overview of the disposal approaches in Canada, the waste disposal is managed by the Nuclear Waste Management Organization, also referred to as NWMO, while in France it is managed by ANDRE, which is called the Cigéo project. The spent fuel in Canada remains in its original form for disposal, while in France, the spent fuel is reprocessed and the high-level waste are vitrified, that is, are heated in glass for disposal. Talking about the disposal design, in Canada, the design is a multi-barrier system which involves the natural barrier and the engineered barrier that involves the isolation and containment of the fuel in a deep geological repository under a crystalline rock of about 500 to 800 meter deep. While in France, the design for the disposal of the high-level waste is retrievable, whereas for Canada is not retrievable, and the deep geological repository approach is also adopted, with the host rock being a claystone of about 500 meter deep. Talking about the site selection in Canada and France, both countries involve the public, that is, they engage the community about the selection of the site for the disposal of nuclear waste. In Canada, 2024 specifically November to be precise, a site was selected, which is in the Ignis area in northwestern Ontario. For France, the Boss site has also been chosen for the future disposal of high nuclear waste in France. Talking about the corrosion perspective for both countries, the disposal, that is the deep geological repository, will evolve from the oxic condition to anoxic condition, that is from oxidizing to a reducing condition. However, the difference in their host rock will result in unique corrosion pathways. So in Canada, the primary corrosion that would affect the repository is uniform corrosion, although it can also be susceptible to galvanic corrosion if the container breaches and the copper container gets corroded. And for France, the container is also primarily susceptible to localized corrosion. I will also want to note that both containers for both countries can also be susceptible to microbial-induced corrosion. For the economic aspects in France specifically, the ANDRA made a public release in May 2025, highlighting the total cost for building and commissioning, which was about 7 to about 9 billion euros, and also the annual average cost for the project from 2050 upward for the operation and maintenance will be about 140 to 200 million euros, and the estimated cost for the decommissioning and the closure will be about 16 to 25 billion euro. In total, the cost for these projects for construction, operation, and the closure will be about 26 to 35 billion euro. So moving on to the stakeholder perspective on economic cost and benefits, specifically for France, we have the stakeholders will be highlighting their responsibility and the benefits they could get from whatsoever they do in order to make this project an efficient and effective one. So the first are the waste producers, and they are the primary bearer of the financial responsibility of this project. Should in case the project goes the right way, one of the benefits is that they avoid interim storage costs and lower costs if implementation of the project is efficient. Also, the government also sets reference cost and enforce safety standard. And one of the benefits is that they avoid potential remediation costs in future, among others. The local communities also face direct closure costs, and one of the benefits is job creation, among others. So in conclusion, Canada and France adopt a unique strategy for their nuclear disposal, and the corrosion perspective for both countries highlights the possible corrosion type that could affect the containers. The economic assessment also emphasizes the balance between the high front cost and long-term societal and financial benefits. Thank you so much.